Myself, Ayush Sarnabat. My registration number is 2421441. So I'll be talking about CCD's success story. It was founded by Vijay Siddhartha in year 1996. Their business model is farm to cup, and they had a massive scale, as they had thousands of outlets and thousands of vending machines overall India. They brought a cultural impact in India, as they converted a tea drinking nation to cafe culture. The major success factor was right time, right product, and right market. These were the three reasons they succeeded. So I'll be talking about the warning signs which CCD had from year 2015 to 2019. So the thing was, there was unsustainable growth. The capital expenditure significantly outpaced returns. Also, there was misguided diversification. Their investments strayed from their core coffee expertise. They were investing in many other things which was not really needed for business to expand. And third was intensifying competition. There were too many outsiders coming, too many global brands and artisanal cafes were up there. And fourth, which was the biggest issue which they had, was they had a billions in borrowings and jeopardizing financial stability. And the single point of failure was over reliance on founders for the leadership. So this were the warning signs.
My name is Priya Bhatt, registration number 2421425. Moving on, I'll be talking about the crisis at Cafe Coffee Day. When we talk about the crisis at Cafe Coffee Day, it began with the sudden death of the founder VG Siddhartha. His unexpected demise created the issue in leadership and amplified financial distress since he was the main central person of decision making. Now, this shook the confidence of various stakeholders like lenders, employees, borrowers, government, etc., and exposed the weakness in governance and transparency. The company was already struggling with their financial debt, their intense competition and over expansion, and the founder's sudden death just put more burden on them. Now, what's important here is not the financial aspect of the case, but the leadership, trust, and the organizational fragility. The brand that once symbolized India's cafe culture was now on the verge of an existential threat.
So now I'm going to talk about the failure analysis, which is leadership and people. So the main problem with this was that there was over centralized decision making. The top down problem, the founder controlled basically everything. There was a very centralized decision making, so which means nobody else could make the big decisions. This made the company slow and inflexible. The second one was that the customer experience wasn't consistent. The training was different across all stores, and because of this, the quality of the coffee and the service itself was different at every store. So the customers never knew what they were going to get. The third one is the trust disappeared. So the founders' sudden exit, it created uncertainty. It left the investors and customers confused and worried, and trust in the brand was lost. And especially because the founder had a heavy involvement in all the strategic and financial decisions, the investors and the managers in the company was left confused as to what to do. So now I'm going to talk about the strategy and competition part of the failure analysis. So the first one is that there was a lack of brand identity. So what happened is the company tried to appeal to everybody. So because of this, the resources were being spread too thin, and there was a diluted brand image. The second one is focus on volume over value. Management basically prioritized sales figures over establishing a strong and valuable brand that has a reputation. The third is slow to premiumize. Um, it failed to evolve with the consumer trends and the market changes. So because of this, it it didn't know consumers' preferences that had high quality aspirational products. The fourth one is digital transformation lag. The impact of this was that it fell behind the competitors in e-commerce and digital marketing, and it couldn't compete with the other brands such as Blue Takai, Third Wave Coffee, and Starbucks. It had a one size fits all approach. So it failed to address the diverse needs of different consumers in the segment market. So now I'm going to talk about the finance and innovation failure analysis. So the first one was that there was a financial strain from debt. The company kept borrowing heavily, which created a major financial burden on the company. The second one is delayed debt restructuring. So instead of addressing the debt problem early, the restructuring was postponed. So this only worsened the financial pressures over time, leaving the company more vulnerable than it was. Weak digital engagement. The limited investment in digital platforms meant that there were poor customer reach and retention. Because of this, competitors leveraged digital tools better, and this helped them gain stronger customer loyalty. Inconsistent delivery models. The delivery was very fragmented with multiple partners and no uniform system. So this created a poor and inconsistent customer experience, reducing the trust in the brand. The reactive market strategy. The company often responded to consumer trends only after they became obvious, and instead of being proactive and shaping trends, they lagged behind competitors. Basically, they followed the market trends instead of setting an example or starting the market trend. So these are the analysis of that are specific to finance and innovation.
Alright, so now I'll be explaining Kautilya's principles that were applied. So Kautilya's ideas, even though they are centuries old, still play a relevant guidance role in the modern business idea. So the first one being Nyaya, that is a law of fish, where the big fish swallows the swan. In CCD's case, that basically means that without discipline and proper strong management, it is very easy for large competitors like Starbucks, other local competitors, to overpower and consume the marketplace than CCD. Second principle is strategic diplomacy. Basically, Kautilya emphasized the alliances. That is, for CCD, this could mean partnerships with FMCG companies, co-working spaces to strengthen their position. Third is intelligence and foresight with market data, early warning systems, and scenario planning so that the company is able to anticipate their risks and secure their future plans without being too late for it. And finally, we have ethical entrepreneurship, which is basically balancing survival with responsibility, treating employees, farmers, customers fairly even through tough times. All of this teaches us that timeless values can still guide us through businesses through tough times.
My name is Upasana Shri and my register number is 2421452, and today I'll be talking about CCD's revival plan. So firstly I'll be taking up on short term revival plan which is for the next 2 years. So right now CCD should mainly focus on survival. Like what they can do is they can restructure the debt and they can work with the lenders and banks. So this will help them to reduce the immediate financial pressure from them. Next, underperforming outlets can be converted into franchises, which will help them to cut down their cost as well as maintain the brand presence in the market. Now, alongside the finances, leadership has to be more strong and transparent, and they should give quicker responses and authority and power to local managers for the decision making. Finally, CCD needs to build their trust within their employees, suppliers, and customers. This can be done through open communication and small incentive programs. Together, all these steps can help CCD stabilize their uh, market in the short term. Talking about the long term plan, which is for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, here CCD should mainly focus on getting back and connecting to its roots. Like its farm to cup story, basically highlighting their heritage and even using tools like QR codes to show the transparency. The brand can win back the loyalty, and innovation can also be one of the keys, like introducing digital ordering, loyalty apps, ready to drink coffee, and smaller cafe formats in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. On the financial side, CCD can bring a new investor and create profit sharing contract with the farmers for like more sustainable chain. The company also needs to adopt eco-friendly packaging and focus on the waste reduction. And above all, it all needs strong ethical leadership that has foresight and can anticipate market changes. In short, the short-term plan is all about stability and survival, while the long-term plan is about growth and competitiveness. Together, these all steps can help put CCD back on track. Thank you.
So now I'll be talking about the leadership qualities in crisis. When a company faces crisis, leadership is the main difference between survival and collapse. Leaders first need to remain calm, they need to be rational, rely on proper data and evidence rather than panic. At the same time, they also need to be decisive because they need to make bold decisions but with timely choices like restructuring debt, changing the business model, etc. Now, transparency is critical because employees, lenders, customers need that trust again, need the honesty to build that trust. And leaders need to show diplomacy, negotiate with the banks, suppliers, big, partners to secure their support. But beyond strategy, ethics matter as well. So, ensuring fairness in pricing, sourcing, and the treatment of staff protection, this all protects the company's long-term credibility. It shows that they are much more caring about their employees as well as their other stakeholders rather than just looking at the financial aspect of the company. Finally, a good crisis leader has proper foresight of the future, the ability to anticipate the customer trends, technological shifts, market changes before competitors. And equally is important the empowerment, trusting and delegating authority to the local managers so that decisions are not just bottled on the top to them. And all of these qualities together transform this crisis into a survival chance change.
Hello everyone, my name is Chopon Rajana, registration number 2421446, and today I'll be talking about the financial and stakeholder revival strategies for Cafe Coffee Day. First is the financial recovery. Coffee Cafe Day needs to restructure their entire financial stage, by which I mean is they need to convert their debt into the equity system. What will happen by this is whoever they have taken the debt from will see them as a potential partner and not as a company they're investing in. So that will turn the creditors into partners who want CCD to succeed. This will also they can also do is like shift their entire store model to a franchising model. This will cut their cost and keep the brand presence alive. Also, they need to talk with strategic investors, and not just for money but for networks and more growth. Second, they have to do is rebuild their trust. Money alone can't save CCT at this point, so they need to make some more stakeholder trust and also investor trust. For employees, what they can do is retain key talent, like giving them good salary, training programs, small equity incentives. All these they can do to keep their employee base active, and if good employees are there in the company it has to grow anyway. For customers, they have to focus on consistent quality and transparency, like show them where the coffee is coming from, how they are maintaining the quality, building loyalty programs for their daily customers, the repetitive customers. For supplier, especially the farmers, they have to create fair and long-term contracts where the farmers will be valued and the farmers will feel valued when they'll be trading with Cafe Coffee Day. Also, when the chain will trust you, their operational entire system will work seamlessly. Also, talking about the innovation and adaptive changes, and we'll first talk about digital transformation. Now, what is digital transformation? It is like coming from traditional to the modern system that is the world is adopting day by day. Firstly, they can do is a app-based ordering and contactless payment system for their cafe coffee day utilities. Like partner with the delivery platforms like Swiggy and Zomato, they can reach a huge number of audience in no time. Also, after that, they can do is smart adoption. CCD will also need to like partner with delivery platforms. They will also they can do one more thing is like digital loyalty programs to understand a huge number of audience and create personalized and customizable services for their audience who are demanding it. Also, they can also do is like diversify their traditional cafes to unique kind of designs and like traditional cafes, and like that will be a customized CCD cafe. They can launch ready to drink coffees for retail markets, create packaged coffees for home, Also, like health conscious customers, they can add some health conscious menus in their items. Also, like redesign their footprint. They can use smaller kiosk costs but reach more people, like work in cafe space, generate a multiple revenue stream. They can also do some sustainability. In today's world, sustainability is such an important topic. They can go green by doing some like paper packagings and all, paper straws and all, everything they can implement in that by going green into that will like cater a huge number of audience. When they'll see like CCTs implementing sustainability in their business, they'll absolutely love that thing. So after that, these strategies, if work together, digital transformation will provide the data, the inputs, customer loyalty, improves the cash flow, the entire financial structure if they regenerate. The CCT's comeback isn't that hard. It is absolutely possible, and it's about becoming a modern, efficient coffee chain ready for India's next change to become the next Starbucks in India, basically. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tashinali and my registration number is 2421449. I'll be talking about the key finding that we got from our case CCD. So the very first one is rational decision making. During crisis, you need to stay calm, transparent, and data-driven is essential. Leaders who rely on fact rather than emotion can make better decisions and navigate challenges effectively. The second one is a financial decision. Survival often depends on timely action like restructuring debt, cutting unnecessary costs, and making strategic investments. This helps stabilize the business during tough time. Third, customer and stakeholder trust. Transparency is a key. By keeping employee, supplier, and customer informed and engaged, a company can rebuild its trust and credibility. The fourth one is innovation and adaptation. To stay competitive, continuous improvement is required. This includes launching new products, adapting digital solutions, and innovation of operations. The fifth one is leadership and vision. Ethical and forward thinking leaders lay the foundation for sustainable recovery and growth. And now I would love to talk about conclusion of our case. So in conclusion, CCD has been more than just a coffee chain. It's a symbol of India's cafe culture. However, in recent years, leadership loss, debt, and rising competition has weakened its market position. Despite these challenges, CCD's strong brand presence and extensive store network gives it a chance at revival. The way forward lies in modernizing its brand image, upgrading store ambience, diversifying its menu with trendy offering, and adopting a digital-first approach to engage Gen Z and millennials. If executed well, CCD can once again reclaim its place as a go-to cafe in both metro and emerging cities, continuing to be a cultural landmark for coffee lovers across India. Thank you.